Ilagan. Naway laging pagpalain, inimiting pangarap, nawa ay iyong tulutan. Kayapan naming pamayanan, sagana naming kabuhayan, kulturang pinagyayaman, matapat na pamahalaan, Ama, iyong patnubayan. Mga pag-asa't pag-ibig, naging handog sa'yo, at pasasalamat sa mga biyayang nagmula sa'yo. Salamat, Ama, purihin ka, Ama.
Bayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Hail our beloved homeland, the city of Ilagan, bestowed with the bounty of the rivers and the streams, shielded by the mountains of Sierra Madre. You will always be our peaceful home, the cradle of Ilagan's hope. You shall blossom, flourish for our vision, as the livable city of Ilagan. God bless the city of Ilagan, the cherished legacy of our forefathers, our home, our land, our beloved homeland, the livable city
It's unfair, and Bali got 7 points in the game. Janelle Fuentes. Ilagana takes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-point. Goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Nathanielo has time.
Just posterized by From down south in Mindoro, we travel all the way up in the Queen Province of the North as two teams flirt with destiny here as the play-in tournament culminates dito po sa Capital Arena in the city of Ilagan Isabela as both Bataan and Ilagan Isabela lock horns here for the last spot in the playoffs. Art de la Cruz gave out everything he had in that losing effort while he will go up against Ives Sazon, who has really found that shooting touch at an opportune time para dito sa One Bataan Risers. It's do or die Wednesday here in the MPBL play-in tournament. It's the One Bataan Risers going up against the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys. Magandang gabi mga kaliga, Ken Panglinan with Javi Palanya. Javi, this is it. Biggest game of the season for Bataan and Ilagan Isabela. How do you see this matchup playing out?
Well, for me, Ken, two things are important no, para sa parehong kupunan dito. Whoever is gonna be able to shoot efficiently from the outside and from the free throw line, they will have the edge in this game. Because Bataan was able to do so in both categories in their game against Pasig City. Ilagan did well from the outside against the Pangasinan Heatwaves. Kaya lang diferensya, they only shot 13 out of 22 from the free throw line. And that was a close game that went into overtime.
And you're watching us live on the official MPBL YouTube channel and also live on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And live din po tayo on pusop.com. Let's bring in our courtside reporter, Miss Andrea Indicio. Andrea, matindi yung pinagdaanan nitong dalawa kupunan na ito. In coming into this point, itong Bataan and Ilagan Isabela, how are they coming into this matchup?
Yes, first of all, good evening, Javi and Ken. Para nga dito sa Bataan, sabi nga sa akin ni Coach Ogie, the energy is way up kahit na 60% sa kanilang team ang nagkasakit. Pagpasok ko naman sa kanilang dugout, para namang mga hindi nagkasakit ang kanilang mga players dahil iba ang kanilang aura. Lahat ganado, lahat masaya at iisa nga ang kanilang mindset. Pupunta pa kami ng Abra. On the side of Ilagan naman, right when the team needed them the most, Dennis Santos won't be playing today due to that hamstring injury na nakuha niya in their previous game. Also, Mark Dyke is not at his 100% because he just got out of the hospital yesterday due to mild pneumonia. I will dig deeper into these stories later on, but for now, balik muna sa inyo.
Maraming salamat, Andre. And Javi, at this point, no more excuses. No more tomorrow for these two teams. At ngayon, silipin natin ang ating play-in bracket and you cover that South Division play-in tournament, which was a wild one, Javi, and in the end, Mindoro and Zamboanga emerging victorious here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Ken. We are just in the play-in tournament and already we're seeing intense basketball, which is very entertaining for our fans. What more when we enter the first round of our playoffs? And dito versus between Ilagan and Bataan, I'm sure this is also going to be another exciting encounter between two teams who are looking to face the Abra Weavers sa first round ng ating North Division playoffs.
Both these teams very loaded and motivated to move on to the next round. And well, when we talk about the One Bataan Risers, Ives Sazon, like we said, Javi, it hasn't been the most efficient season for him. But in the last 3 games, he's been averaging 16 points and shooting at a nice clip, 47.4% from the field. And really setting the tone in this game against Pasig City in this victory they had last weekend in Pangasinan.
You know, he can be one of the streakiest shooters, and I mean that in the negative and the positive, because when he misses, he goes for a lot of misses consecutively. But when he hits the mark, he's able to do so time and time again. He was able to hit his mark early here against Pasig City, going well above his average of 10.8 points per game. He finished with 20, and those 12 points in the second half helped the Bataan Risers take care of business against the Pasig City team na alam naman natin hindi yan susuko hanggat sa final buzzer. They tried repeatedly to get back into that game, but shots by Ives Sazon and his other teammates were very timely that made sure Pasig City was at bay until the final buzzer.
And let's see if he could sustain that fine shooting form he had in that game against Pasig City dahil makakalaban nila ito si Art De La Cruz and the rest of the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys. Another complete game. But apart from that, Javi, he was clutch in the fourth quarter. Although he fouled out late in that same period, he was the one who had that go-ahead free in the closing minutes of that fourth quarter. And such a nice outing para dito kay Art De La Cruz despite that loss.
He basically kept them afloat the entire game except for overtime dahil nga nawala na siya before the end of the fourth quarter. But he basically was responsible for Ilagan staying in that game. That's why it's crucial that he also gets to stay on the court. Kaya kailangan natin bantayan dito para sa laro ni Art is yung kanyang fouls. He has to make sure that he stays on the court dahil it is imperative for the Cowboys to have him inside because without him, nakita mo naman yung naging comparison in overtime when he was not there and AJ Miranda was left to do much of the scoring offensively.
And you talk about how both teams have to be efficient from the floor. We compare the numbers for these two squads and hindi rin masyado nalalayo, Javi.
Tama ka dyan, Ken. That's why I pointed out earlier that it's the free throw shooting and the outside sniping for both teams that are imperative. Dahil nakikita mo naman dito, both teams, they like to finish inside. Halos kalahati ng mga puntos nila each and every game come from the interior, and that is why it is imperative that they connect from the outside and make the most of their opportunities from the charity stripe because I foresee this to be another close encounter.
One team will advance while another will have their season end tonight here in Ilagan. It's the Bataan Risers going up against the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys here in our play-in tournament. Let's go to Richard Tampos for starting lineups.
It's the battle for survival. Bataan Risers versus your Ilagan Isabela. Capital Arena. Are you ready? This is the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's introduce first the starters for the Bataan Risers Kamaya Coast. Playing center number 27, Chris Javier. Forward number 23, Rinwil Yambing. Two guard number 22, Ives Sason. Forward number 11, Rafi Octobre. Point guard number 1, Robbie Darang. They are led by Gudi Ilagan, assisted by Mac Tan, with Ogie Gumatay, John Flores, F. Francisco, Arvin Quinto, Paul De La Cruz, Rene Baina, Prince Cruz, Louis Cortina, Marvin Molines, Erwin Lozada, and El Granada Councilor Gary David, Assistant Team Manager Shai Evangelista, Team Manager Attorney Gary Palmero, Team Owner is Luis Valenzuela. And now, City of Ilagan, Yaway nga na aginaganu! Your Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys! At forward number 8, Joshua Ramirez. Also at forward number 18, Art De La Cruz. Two guard number 4, Ajem Miranda. Coming in at center number 15, the Barbarian Alan Santos. And at guard number 11, your very own from Alinghigan 2nd, Don Gumaru. The head coach, Louis Gonzalez. Assistant coaches, Mixon Ramos, Eric De La Cuesta, Hans Robles, Alex Calweng, Ethel Tahorda, coaching consultant, Glenn Capasio, the team managers, Vice Mayor Jay Diaz.
Some slight changes to the starting lineups of both these teams. Bataan starting off with Ives Sazon in lieu of Tutoy Ramirez. Sa panig naman ng Ilagan Isabela, it's Joshua Ramirez earning that nod for the Cowboys. And let's see which of these two teams will emerge victorious and come out on top. A spot in the North Division playoffs up for grabs and a date with Ambra on Friday at stake. Ilagan Isabela playing at the comforts of their homes for the 5th time this season, but different stakes. As the tip going to the side of the home team, AJ Miranda with a basketball. Got off to a slow start in that game against Pangasinan. Let's see if he could rectify that going up against Bataan. De La Cruz against Rafi Octobre. Able to draw out a foul immediately against Rafi Octobre.
He was the one in foul trouble in that game against Pangasinan. Now I think one of his objectives in this game is to try and get his defenders in foul trouble so that the game can be easier for him as it progresses.
Masakit kasi sa nangyari kay Art in that last game, Javi. He came into that fourth quarter without any fouls and we picked up 3 consecutive tiki-tack ones and then eventually fouling out in the last minute of that quarter.
And we talked about it during the top of our coverage during pre-game, but I'd like to expound on it a little bit more. You saw the difference when Ilagan did not have Art De La Cruz during that overtime period. You saw how different it was for them to try and get someone to run the offense. I know AJ Miranda has been solid for them this season, but it's just so different when the offense runs to Art De La Cruz, as we see the man they call the Barbarian now, Alan Santos, scoring 2 points there for the Cowboys. But you know how Art is able to produce points, how he's able to attract the defense is just different when he's on the floor compared if it's just AJ Miranda running the show.
Nice cut backdoor by Rin William Bing, scoring 2 points, tying the ball game up at 2 apiece. These two teams met in the regular season in Orion, Bataan, and that was a close encounter, but the Risers fell short in that matchup. Ives Sazon trying to pick up from where he left off, missing on that mid-range jumper. Miranda behind the back, but lost it. Octobre comes away with it for Bataan.
Ball seems a little bit slippery here. First few possessions for the Cowboys. Miranda not being able to control it.
The drive by Sazon. Swing pass to Robbie Darang. Drifting left. Back shot won't work. Rebound Alan Santos. Miranda on the left side. Joshua Ramirez matched up against Rin William Bing. They go to Art De La Cruz. Miranda. Open free for Don Gumaru. The hometown hero knocks down a free.
This is why Ilagan has to trust the system. The system that Coach Louis Gonzalez wants them to run. Because if they are going to rely on individual talent alone, they are not going to make it far in this season, make it far against the Bataan Risers in this game. If they want to get past these Bataan Risers and face the Abra Weavers in the first round, they're going to have to trust the system and try to score in transition as well.
Naiwasan ni AJ Miranda si Rin William Bing in scoring those 2 points.
That's where he's at his best. Open court basketball.
Robbie Darang defended by Gumaru. Now it's Alan Santos. Yambing tries a free. It will bounce out and a foul will be whistled against Alan Santos on that rebounding battle.
Yeah, clearly a foul on Alan as he tried to box out ito si Chris Javier.
Fast break of the game is brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker every day. Karaoke.
What a very clever up and under right there. Galing kay AJ Miranda going through both Chris Javier and Rin William Bing.
Javier pass back. Intended to Darang, but he was caught stepping on the baseline. He will be replaced by Alfred Flores with just a little over 3 minutes gone by in the first quarter.
Coach Bactan not liking so far how Robbie has been running the offense, trying to give this attack of Bataan something different with Alfred Flores coming in.
Ramirez, pinasa kay Art De La Cruz. Laban pa rin kay Rafi Octobre. Skips it to Joshua Ramirez who launches. Not even close. Sazon onto the front court. Yambing back to Ives. Entry pass to Chris Javier, who also got off to a strong start against Pasig City. And he was fouled by Joshua Ramirez as he turned around for that shot. I mean, that first quarter alone, Javi already had 10 points and 8 rebounds.
You can tell that Chris is more motivated this season. Being with a new team, coming in together with Hubert Cani. These were two additions that Bataan was very proud to have, very happy to acquire. You could see yung body language niya, how he's approaching games, ibang-iba compared to last season.
Let's check in with Andrea Endicio.
With Dennis Santos out and Mark Dyke not at his best, Coach Louie Gonzalez says we have to do whatever it takes. Looking at their previous games against Caloocan and Pangasinan, hindi na raw pwede yung slow start na sila palagi yung naghahabol. And today, it cannot just be Art de la Cruz or AJ Miranda. More so, hindi na rin daw nila pwedeng sabihin that they can do exactly the same as what happened the first time that they met with Bataan. Marami nang nagbago with both teams, but if there is one thing that they differ, yun daw ay ang kanilang mga identity. According to Coach Louie, for Bataan, it's their offensive firepower. For them, it's their defensive core. This isn't round 2 of the elimination. This is like new teams facing each other for the first time. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. And that matchup happened almost 5 months ago already. And it came at a time where AJ Miranda and the rest of the crew weren't there. As Miranda, who has struggled from the outside this season, knocks down that three-pointer.
Below 30% shooter from the outside this year. We know that hasn't really been one of his strongest shoots. But when he gets that shot going inside, you know that he has the confidence to take it from beyond the arc.
Three-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. And off to a strong start, something Coach Louie wants from the Cowboys. It's 12-3 for Ilagan Isabela, timeout Bataan. Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys falling short here. Having we covered this game against Pangasinan where they had the lead late in regulation but just ran out of steam, especially in the overtime period.
Yeah, that's right. They were outscored by 7 in overtime period, 16-9. The free throws were really a big issue in that game, especially in OT. AJ Miranda had a tough time getting shots off against Jory Napoles. What Pangasinan did there was they let AJM run that two-man game, and it was Napoles who switched out onto him. Jory did not have a problem stopping him defensively because he had all the attributes to really stop AJM. And the fact about AJM is he does not have an in-between game. That's why it's so hard to get shots off in situations like that, closing minutes, crucial situations when you don't have that mid-range game. Because when the defender knows that you're just going to drive inside, he's just going to give you the lane. Abangan ka niya na lang eh. Dali-dali ka na lang depensahan pag ganun. But when you have those different threats in your arsenal, that's when you become unpredictable. That's when the defense has a hard time trying to stop you.
Also not helping their cause was the missed free throws in overtime. AJ Miranda missed 2. And that really led to their downfall. Chris Xavier, he was right at the cup, but missing on a gimme. De La Cruz, pinigay kay Dondon Gumaru. Ngayon na kay AJ Miranda. Hubert Cani is now in for Bataan. De La Cruz with a flip shot, it's good.
This is the best combination that they will have in a pick-and-roll situation. AJ Miranda handling the basketball and Art de la Cruz setting the screen. Sometimes it can be interchangeable. These two guys are very versatile, and these two guys are both tall for their position. AJM is a tall guard. Art's a tall wing player who can sometimes even play the 5. Here they are once again.
De La Cruz, just their second miss from the field. Yambing is down. Looks like he got popped in the mouth. A lethargic start, I should say, for Bataan. Trailing by 11 points early.
This was the shot by De La Cruz, but watch where Yambing is on that bottom left. Medyo natamaan ni Ramirez.
Yeah. He did that swim move where He tried to get past Rin William Bing for that rebound.
It was an inadvertent hit. I don't think there was any intention to hurt there by Joshua Ramirez.
Now, if you're Bataan, have you learned your lesson from that previous matchup where they had that really slow start? They were down by 12 points at the end of quarter number 1, although they picked things up in the second quarter and made it a close game in the second half. But again, different stakes here with the last playoff seat at the line in the North Division.
And that's the thing about them, no? Talking about the Bataan Risers. This season, when they play catch-up basketball, they kind of fall short most of the time in the end. So, it's important that they get off to a good start, but obviously right now that is not the case. So, now that is really what they have to do. They're going to have to do their best and pick up their act and try to catch up on this lead. Try to make things manageable before this first quarter ends. They don't want to fall in a double-digit hole at the end of 10 minutes.
Now, Coach Ogie has cleaned out the starters. The bench mob now in, but it's not much different. Another turnover against the Risers. Ajem Miranda with an acrobatic move.
He just continues to wow here in the opening quarter, talking about Ajem Miranda, and he's doing most of his damage inside the paint, and a lot of those opportunities coming in the fast break.
9 early points for Ajem Miranda, wreaking havoc in transition.
Look at this, leak out ahead. Capulong and Flores, a little late to get back. Flores was there to try and challenge. At Miranda using that hang time to get Flores down onto the ground, finish up top.
Tutoy Ramirez is on the deck. Ramirez seemed to be the one who hit him there, as our referees having a discussion here. Ilagan Isabela, though, is in penalty, so something that Bataan could take advantage of. Especially, they're just 1 out of 8 from the field so far.
Tingnan natin yung nangyari. Watch Ramirez and ito si Josh. Pareho palang Ramirez.
Oo nga, no? Kaya magpinsan yung dalawang yan. Mas malaki lang yung isa, pero halos...
May hawig ba?
Kaya, tignan natin. Siguro sa pangangatawan, parehong on the stocky side in their positions.
Could be. Mamaya tanungin natin.
16-3 is the score. And if you're Coach Louie Gonzalez, something you really like, stark contrast to what happened in that game against Pangasinan.
Just a body check right there. Nothing too extracurricular, but still a foul. Laban kay Josh. This certainly could help the case of Bataan here in the first quarter. Try and get even more aggressive in drawing more fouls in the last 3 and 47 of this first quarter. But you're going to have to make their free throws.
Still sputtering here itong Bataan to begin this ball game. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Quite a turnout here at the Capital Arena in Ilagan for this North Division play-in knockout match between Bataan and Ilagan Isabela. So far, the Cowboys up by a dozen. Alan Santos to Tonton Gumaru. Only one guy has been replaced from the starting lineup, and it was Joshua Ramirez. Art de la Cruz airballs that mid-range jumper. The same by Santos, but not enough time to put up a shot. It's a shot clock violation against Ilagan Isabela.
Took a little too long to decide on a shot there. Itong koponan ng Cowboys. But you see how they continue to run that system and trust their ball movement and trying to overcome this defense of Bataan here in the first quarter. And so far, it has worked them wonders.
Hubert Cani pulling up, putting that shot in. Much needed basket for Bataan.
Bataan has now gone to a three-point guard setup here on the floor with Flores, Ramirez, and Cani all on the hardwood para sa koponan ng Bataan.
Arte La Cruz forced into a turnover by Jamil Gabawan. Coco Pingoy comes in as well as J-Boy Solis. Coco Pingoy hit a couple of threes in that game against Pangasinan. Alfred Flores and Hubert Cani in stretches, Javi. We've mentioned this time and time again how they played well off each other, especially in that game against Binyan. And this is something that Coach Ogie is banking on here in this knockout match. Hubert Cani launches the three, no good. Bola na tapik ni Tutoy. He saves it to Alfred Flores, but can't finish.
Just got a little too deep right there on that hang time move.
Solis will not force it up. Gumaru straight away free, and it's good.
He's their best three-point shooter. Talking about Don Gumaru. Open look, you've got to go for it. Exactly what he did there. That is three-pointer number 3 in the game for the Cowboys. They're now 3 out of 4 from that distance.
Kapulong, sinugod yung depensa ni Alan Santos at nakasungkit ng foul.
Maybe now that Jael Kapulong is on the floor, Bataan can try to have some post-entry into their offense. Gumaru trailing that play, receiving that basketball. Challenged a little bit too late already, although there was a hand up. Gumaru did not mind.
Bataan, normally a highly efficient team. Top 10 in all percentages. And 2-point field goals, 3-point field goals, overall field goal percentage. But it hasn't been the case so far. Down by 11. Under 2 minutes left in quarter number 1. Josh Giab, just his 3rd game back from that lengthy injury he had where he was forced to miss 2 months. Pingoy, mintes yung kanyang tres. Kapulong grabs the rebound. Cani, entry pass to Kapulong, who goes in deep, flips it up, no good, but a foul drawn by JL. 2 free throws coming up.
Excellent recognition by Hubert Cani on the early offense. You saw that Jael Kapulong was already sealing J-Boy Solis na hindi naman siya mabantayan yan one-on-one, especially when he's in the middle of the paint right there. Good seal by Kapulong, but even a better pass and recognition coming from Hubert Cani.
Coach Ogie Gumatay at the helm tonight, seeking answers here from his team. Currently down by 10. Maisingit ko lang, no? Happy anniversary to our game producer na si Bot and si Ma'am Christine.
Talaga naman, ha? Happy anib sa inyo, GP Bot. Tsaka sa iyong buting asawa, Miss Christine.
Ilang taon na ba, Ton? Dapat binabanggit yan. Hindi na kalilimutan yan. 13 years. All right.
Stay strong, stay in love.
Don Gumaru, pasa na agaw. Ngayon na kay Tutoy Ramirez. Bataan having a surge here late in the first period. Kapulong catches the pass from Hubert Cani. Entry pass down low to Jamil Gabawan. Doesn't get the friendly bounce. Ramirez giving them another possession. Ives Sazon returns. Fake. Shot on its way. Still no go. And a rebound finally ending up with TH Tumalip.
Sazon continues to remain scoreless in this game. He's got a few shots up already, but still no go. And this is the problem here in the first quarter para sa Bataan. When Ilagan is able to secure the possession, although Bataan has been able to secure some offensive rebounds a number of times already here in the first quarter, when Ilagan is able to secure that defensive rebound, Bataan has been a little slow in going down, which has enabled the Cowboys to run in transition and score on baskets like these.
3-point play opportunity for Josh Giab. But that one rolls out. 21-10, an 11-point advantage for the Cowboys as we wind down the first quarter.
9 of those 21 points coming from fast break points, while Bataan has yet to score in that department.
Supalpal, inabot ni Kapulong kay J-Boy Solis. 5-on-4, fast break opportunity. Solis, another entry pass. Giab though could not capitalize. 5 seconds left, Ives Sazon doesn't have the numbers, but he will pull up anyway. Left it short, and the first quarter comes to a close. And if you're the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys, you would relish this kind of start in front of your home crowd. A spot in the North Division playoffs up for grabs, and at the end of quarter number 1, it's 21-10 in favor of Ilagan Isabela. AJ Miranda in that play-in match against Pangasinan, 14 points. Although we mentioned how in the first 3 quarters he only had 6, picked up his scoring late. But here, mas maganda yung naging simula niya dito. 9 points all in quarter number 1.
And he did that in various ways, and he was able to do it in the fast break, was able to get some shots in the half court, and even got a 3-point shot to go. This was the pass coming from Mark De La Cruz, his first 3-point shot of the game. When AJ Miranda is playing this way, the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys will be tough to stop.
AJ Miranda lighting it up inside the Capital Arena in Ilagan Isabela. Our 5th time this season. The Cowboys are 3-1 here at home. Their only loss coming at the hands of the Gensan Warriors. And now they would like nothing more than to cap off the play-in tournament with a win and an entry into the playoffs. But again, Bataan, still a lot of time left, a lot of basketball remaining here. Although they're down by a huge margin as we open up the second quarter. Ramirez forcing it up, another steal by the Cowboys. You see the field goal shooting, 64% in quarter number 1, and they will increase that clip with AJ Miranda with 11 points off that daredevil drive.
And what I'd like to add about AJ Miranda here in the first half, Ken, is the reason why his shooting is at this level, he's not missed in this game, is because he stuck to his identity. This is who he is. Open court basketball, inside points, not really forcing it one-on-one in the half court. He's playing within the system if they do need to set up.
Foul whistle against the Cowboys. Fast break the game is brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
He's been a step, maybe even 2 steps ahead of each defender that's trying to stop him in the open court in this game.
On the other side, Bataan looks like they're out of sorts early.
Shots not falling, turnovers piling up a little bit para sa kanila. Free throws, although actually that has been the most decent part of their game here in the first half. They're shooting 6 out of 8, but the other aspects from the field, they're only shooting 3 out of 16. That's 18%, 3 out of 14 inside the arc, 0 out of 2 from three-point country, and that continues to be the case. 0 out of 3 now after that Ramirez miss.
Coco Pinggoy quickly to TH Tumalip. Nasundot bagya ni Mitchell Maines. Balik kay TH. Over the outstretched arms of Mitchell Maines. Can't hit the free. Ramirez, pinasa kay Robbie Darang. The crossover. And a foul whistled against Ilagan Isabela. 2 more free throws coming up for Bataan.
Dito talaga pwede magka-problema ang Ilagan, no? They really tend to foul a lot in each game that they've played this season.
Yeah,
And sometimes when they get off to a huge start, this is where teams are able to make comebacks from the free throw line.
and in their last game against Pangasinan, they gave out 30 free throw attempts to the Heat Waves. Robbie Darang sinks in the second free throw. Baba sa 10 ang lamang. De La Cruz returns for Josh Giab. Now, if you're Bataan, you need to play with a lot more urgency here. Medyo flat yung naging start nila dito. Art de la Cruz, binigay kay Coco Pinggoy. Shot clock winding down on the Cowboys. De la Cruz gets that one to trickle in. And it's a goaltend against Bataan. Everything has been falling so far for the Cowboys.
And it's been contrasting on the side of the Risers. They have a lot of trouble buying baskets in this game. They've had to bleed for their offense sa laro na to. Even open looks, hindi nila ma-convert.
Miranda against Tutoy Ramirez. Off the bounce, Ajem kicks it out to J-Boy Solis. Now it's with Coco Pinggoy. 8 seconds left on their shot clock. Pinggoy will fire and score from downtown.
Love that confidence on the shot by Coco Pinggoy. Desididong-desidido siya kung ano gusto niya gawin doon. Fake the handoff to TH Tumalip on that left side. Shot clock winding down, took matters into his own hands and took the three.
Octobre answers right back with a free of his own.
This is what Bataan needs to realize right now, Ken, to not be that stiff in their movement and how they're approaching this game, because despite all the struggles, you're only down by 12 points.
Yeah. It doesn't seem that they're face heavy, but parang wala sila sa rhythm so far.
Yun na nga. And I don't know if it's because this is the first team in 4 games that they've faced that is actually a team in the higher part of the team standings, dahil yung kanilang huling laro, those 4 games that they had to close out the season, their 4-game winning streak, were all against teams in the bottom of the team standings.
Yeah. And 3 of those came at home, where they averaged more than 90 points in that stretch, where they pretty much shots were falling. Pero ito, iba yung nagiging tema dito. And let's see how they will respond. This time around though, this was that shot by Robbie Darang.
That's really a shot that he's loved to take throughout his career. One of the few guys you know would actually pull up in transition, mid-range, and go for that floater.
Mitchell Maines, niluwa yung kanya unang free throw.
Now the free throw starting to be a little bit of a problem too for the Risers here in the first half.
Itong free throw na ito, atid sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 1 out of 2 from Mitchell Maines. 28-19. Despite all of their struggles, they are within striking distance. De La Cruz, binigay kay Don Gumaru. Now it's with Mark Guy, kaapasok lang. At off the basketball, a foul whistled against Tutoy Ramirez. First foul on Tutoy Ramirez. Almost 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Baseline inbound for the Cowboys. Gumaru. Now it's with Mark Dyke. Flashing down the middle was Art de la Cruz, but left that one short. Nice stand on the defensive end for Bataan that time.
I think he forced that shot too. Clearly the defense was already there, established with their hands up, but still De La Cruz stepped into that shot off the turn.
Chris Xavier, binalik kay Tutoy Ramirez. Octobre, nasundot ni Art de la Cruz. Bola mananatili sa panig ng Risers. Makoy Marcos coming in. And replace TH Tumalip. 11 seconds remaining on their shot clock. Talking about Bataan. Ramirez wants the screen from Octobre, doesn't get it. Now he gets the move on a crossover and scores.
Yeah, Alfred Flores may have had more of the spotlight this season, together with Robbie Darang in that point guard position compared to Tutoy Ramirez. But you and I, Ken, we know the capabilities of a guy named Tutoy Ramirez. He took and scored that basketball.
Naibaba nilang kalamangan. Miranda pulling up. It will bounce out. One thing that Bataan has done well though was keep itong Ilagan Isabela to one shot. And, they've secured the rebounds at the most part. Si Tutoy Ramirez with this gorgeous move against Don Gumaru.
Just froze him off of that slight hesitation and got him with a crossover going to the left.
Octobre, susubok ulit sa tres. Yes! And just like that, Bataan has trimmed the gap to 4.
You know, they dialed the hotline and Rafi Octobre was the one who answered the call. 2 3-pointers in this game for Rafi Octobre. That's all the threes for the Risers in this game. And this last one was a big one because now this lead is down to 4 points.
The One Bataan Risers handily taking care of business against Pasig City by a score of 99-78. And you saw how efficient they were from the field, Javi.
Yeah, they got off to a good start sa laro na to, no? When they get off to a good start, they're very tough to beat because they're so good at maintaining the advantage. Kaya lang dito, the tables have flipped and that's why it's interesting to see how they can try to make a comeback from this. So far, they are in the midst of that.
And for more, let's go to Andrea.
Given the fact that more than half sa Risers ang nagkasakit, I guess it's safe to say that maybe fired up mentally and emotionally but physically they haven't fully recovered yet. Kwento sa akin ni Coach Ogie, yesterday majority of them had IV therapy after their game against Pasig. Doon na daw nagsimulang isa-isa sa kanila ang nagkasakit. Yung iba na ER pa. Even the coaching staff were sick as well. Siguro nga raw naghawa-hawa sa ensayo but nonetheless, Coach Rene said, kita mong tinatry ng mga players na hindi indahin ang kanilang mga nararamdaman. If you guys were there inside the dugout, you literally get goosebumps. Lahat sumisigaw na ayaw pa nilang umuwi. Diretso abra dapat para sa Bataan, puso ang kanilang sinasandalan. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. You have to consider, if you're Bataan, you traveled all the way to Rosales just to survive against Pasig City. And then, you have to travel all the way up north dito sa Ilagan Isabela. And, you know, the sick bug came into play, Javi. But they know what's at stake here. And now they've managed to trim the gap. Nice defensive stand there by Chris Javier. And now they're down by 2 with a chance to tie the game.
And you see here him getting that league out pass galing kay Robbie Daran. And I think that may be an explanation for them starting off slow in this game. But again, we already talked about, you lamented about this during the top of our coverage. There has to be no excuses in this game. No? Whatever are the factors that are not going well for you, you have to fight through that and you're gonna have to leave it all on the floor because gusto mong wala ka mapagsisihan after this game. Whatever happens, you wanna go into this game and give it your all. And so far right now, they've managed to bug that slow start and overcome this deficit, which is only down by 1 point at this point of the second quarter.
Bataan has missed the playoffs in the past couple of seasons. Their last playoff appearance was back in Season 4 where they figured out in a very interesting series against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Miranda tries a free again. It will go out. And a push against Ilagan Isabela. This lead is down to 1 and a chance to grab the lead for the first time para dito sa Bataan.
See, notice how the Cowboys have gone into the penalty each of the 2 quarters here in the first half at almost the same time.
Ilagan Isabela led by as many as 15 points. This was eerily similar to what happened in their elimination round game. As Chris Javier, naitabla na ang laro. 10 out of 15 from the line itong One Bataan Risers.
Yung naging diferensya lang doon compared to the first game was it was actually more in the second half kung saan na talagang dumikit ng husto itong Bataan before even taking the lead.
And now, they are in the driver's seat. Mas maaga nila nasolusyonan yung flat start nila dito. Under 4 minutes left here in the second frame. Makoy Marcos. Arenal. Pass deflected by Robbie Darang. Miranda. Pasa kay Makoy. 3-point shot will not work. Capulong grabs the rebound. And off to the races. What a pass! Chris Xavier scores! It's a 15-0 run from the One Bataan Risers.
He said he could score, but he too could deliver those passes to his teammates, talking about Tutoy Ramirez.
It's been quite a drought para dito sa Ilagan Isabela. Makoy Marcos could not shake off Robbie Darang, and he got caught stepping on the baseline.
Well, it's been a painful last 2-3 minutes here in the second quarter para dito sa Ilagan.
Fast Break the Game is brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
Contrasting results. First quarter and second quarter. Now, it's the Risers who actually are thriving in the open court and are able to score on easy baskets here in the second quarter.
Ilagan Isabela has not scored for the last 5 minutes. Their last basket was at the 7-minute and 35-second mark of the second quarter. And finally, DH Tumalip breaks the drought, knocks down a much-needed free.
Well, that's certainly a much-needed basket para sa kanila.
Robbie Darang sidesteps his way to the basket. And a foul will be called against the Cowboys.
Or they're taking it to the inside right now. Here, Capulong gets the step on RJ Arenal. That's just too easy. If you're the Cowboys, you gotta make it even more difficult for them to score inside the shaded area. But here, good presence of mind by Arenal, making up for his mistake on the defensive end, going to the baseline and recognizing the shooter on that deep right corner, which was DH Tumalip.
Robbie Darang also missed 2 months midway in the season. But the good thing for Bataan was Alfred Flores came to the rescue during the free agency and trade window. Kept him at bay alongside Hubert Cani. And now they are complete. And up by 2. A steal here for Bataan. Tatakbo si Mitchell Maines. Bola na tapik palabas. It will stay with Bataan.
Turnovers piling up a little bit here in the first half para sa Cowboys. That's now 8 giveaways in the game para sa Ilagan.
Ramirez got rejected. The second block from J-Boy Solis. But still a lot of time left on their shot clock. Ramirez will reset their offense. Aatake si Mitchell Maines. And that time, nakasungkit ng foul laban kay J-Boy Solis. Third foul against J-Boy.
Coach Luis asking our table why that shot clock was reset. It was a block, not a shot attempt that hit the ring. And the shot clock should only reset when that ball hits the ring on a shot attempt.
Yeah. So Mitchell Maines back at the line, getting his first All-Star nod this season. But free throws have been a problem for Bataan despite the volume. They have missed a lot.
11 out of 19 now, and Maines has himself missed a bunch.
That continues. And as a result, this lead is only at 2. A chance to tie or take the lead para dito sa Ilagan Isabela. Dondon Gumaro! All net on that free! Third three-pointer from Dondon Gumaro, giving the lead right back to the Cowboys. 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Feet set, shoulders squared, locked and loaded para kay Don Gumaro. Another three-pointer para sa kanya. That's a big basket for the Cowboys.
Dondon Gumaro with 9 points. A timeout requested here by Bataan. Say hi to our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. Happy to have you with us here on a Wednesday night all the way from Ilagan City, Isabela. A do-or-die game between the Bataan Risers and the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys. Muli po Ken Pangilinan with Javi Palanya at courtside. We have Miss Andrea and Vicio. The Cowboys reclaiming the lead after that free by Don Gumaru. Bataan with a basketball. Kapulong. J-Boy Solis still on the floor with 3 fouls. Kapulong immediately attacks, but the third block coming from J-Boy Solis. Pass intercepted by Yambing. And the possession remaining on the side of Ilagan Isabela.
Siguro narinig ako kanina ni J-Boy Solis nung sinabi kong hindi niya mababantayan si JL Kapulong sa loob. That's now 3 blocks in this game for J-Boy Solis. 2 on JL Kapulong.
Doesn't take much for J-Boy to get motivated here. We have a timeout from Coach Louie Gonzalez. We'll be back after this. Boss Joey Fournier with Head of Security Rudy Distrito, of course, Commissioner Kev Duremdes, and Head of Operations Emer Oreta. He had a nice lunch earlier, Javi.
Yeah. Maraming salamat, Boss Joey and Mayor Jay for hosting us kanina, no? Sarap ng pagkain.
Palagay ko, gusto mo mag-round 2 kanina eh.
Oo eh. Kaso nalalamangan rin ako ng, ng antok kanina eh. Mahirap kasi pag marami tayo nakain, hindi na tayo makakatulog talaga.
Baka di na yung mga pag-cover. Josh Giap, pasa kay Tig Sumalik, who turns around and swishes in that jumper.
I'm telling you, this has been a very exciting push and pull. It's been a game of runs, Ken.
Yeah, pretty much back and forth between these two squads. Something we totally expected heading into this matchup.
No doubt about it. Kung nung elimination round, dikit yung naging laban nila. I have to correct myself. Bataan did not lead in that game.
Yeah. And now they tie things up here with a 3 by Robbie Darang.
Pero dito, lalo sa second quarter, nagpapalitan sila ng lamang dito. And they did not expect less, no doubt. And this is elite basketball we're seeing here from both these teams.
Last shot opportunity for the Cowboys. Bataan though still has fouls to give. And now they recognize that. Octobre giving up that foul. Still 2 more to give para dito sa Bataan. 1.6 seconds left.
And the reason kung bakit di mo talaga matawaran yung quality ng game na to between these two teams is both teams are very well coached, very well managed. In my opinion, 2 of the best franchises that we have here in the MPBL.
And the support is immense
No
from
doubt.
both these squads.
Yun na nga sinasabi ko. They are 2 of the model franchises that we have here in the league. And lalo na, that's props to Ilagan because this is only their first season.
Yeah. AJ Miranda can't hit the free. And the second quarter in the books. Ilagan Isabela got off to a scintillating start, led by as many as 17 points. But a 20-0 run by the Bataan Risers, enabling them to tie the ball game up at the half at 36 apiece.
Back inside the Capital Arena in the city of Ilagan for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Andrea Endicio, and right now we will be having our halftime interview together with attorney Gary Palmero, the team manager of Bataan, and of course board member EJ Diaz, the team manager of Ilagan. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me here at the half. Unahin ko na muna si Attorney Gary. And Attorney, we've been talking about this since the start of our coverage na majority ng inyong mga players, even the coaches, ay nagkasakit prior to this game. As a team manager, paano nyo po yun hinandle given na win or go home ang situation na ito?
Kailangan lang namin mag-cope doon sa mga gagawin namin. Maaga kami dumating dito sa Isabela, binigay namin lahat ng medical needs nila. Tapos yung mga following days sa ospital, gamot, talagang binantayan namin sila para lang makalaro dito. Kaya medyo hirap pa rin sila hanggang ngayon, pero pinipilit namin makakuha ng panalo dito.
And it's really nice to see that the risers are fighting this situation. Yes, attorney. And meron po ba kayong mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan? Go ahead.
Salamat sa LGU ng Isabela for accommodating us. Thank you din sa family ni Carl Bringas na tiga dito, homegrown yung isang player namin. Thank you sa mga Bataeños na tumusuporta. Thank you sa mga LGU officers namin na patuloy na sumusuporta. Binabati ko rin yung mga Kamaya Coast family na nandito, sumama sa amin sa Isabela. At binabati ko rin yung mga nanonood sa TV at yung wife ko si Irene.
Thank you so much, Attorney. Dumako naman tayo sa aking kanan. And sir, alam naman natin, this is the first season of the Cowboys, and yet you managed to form a very competitive team na ngayon nasa play-in na. Ano pong masasabi niyo doon?
First and foremost, good evening Miss Andrea. Gusto ko munang i-welcome ulit yung visiting team natin, ang Bataan Risers, and of course ating MPBL officials. Welcome po muli sa City of Ilagan. So Miss Andrea, grabe, talagang very blessed kami, very grateful kami na nakapasok kami sa play-in. And of course, we're really working hard na ma-earn tong last spot ng playoff spot dito sa Northern Division. And grabe itong season na to, itong first season ng Ilagan Isabela Cowboys, talagang parang roller coaster ride. But we ended up in a winning note. At least natapos po namin yung season na may winning percentage, 15 win, 14 loss. So we are looking forward, sana mapanalo namin to sa aming tahanan dito sa lungsod ng Ilagan.
Kitang-kita naman po namin ang inyong hard work, and we are hoping for more. And sir, kita na din natin na almost na mapupuno na ito ating venue. Ano pong gusto nyong sabihin sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa Isabela Cowboys?
So muli sa lahat po ng mga supporters namin, sa lahat ng Cowboys Nation, maraming salamat sa hindi nyo pag-iwan at sa pagpatuloy ninyong suporta sa ating minamahal na team. Lalong-lalo na sa lahat po ng mga Ilagueños, sa lahat po ng mga Isabelinos, at syempre yung mga fans natin na nagmula sa iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Sir EJ Diaz. And that's it for our halftime interview. Don't go away, magbabalik pa rin po ang MPBL.
Putting the Jets on. Pass back from Tutoy Ramirez and fires, scores. Oh, Robbie Darag with that slight hezzy. Freezing.
Dumayo kami dito para manalo. Pinaghandaan namin tong lahat.
Ay, pinasa palabas. Miranda for free. Something that they desperately need. Miranda makes his move. Puts it up. Puts it in.
Di rin kami papatalo. Lalabang kami para sa Ilagan.
for Kani. That three off the heel. The offensive rebounding has been on point. Kani will not force it up. Instead, he goes down low to JL Capulo.
Banggaan na, kung banggaan.
Art De La Cruz, the hook shot will rattle out and in again. De La Cruz for the lead. It's good!
Iisa lang ang goal namin sa laban.
2-3 zone. Ay, nakalusot. Asian offense really rewarded there. Actually, minus scores.
Pagkakataon na namin to para sa playoffs.
Nice dive by Mark Dyke. Mark Dyke, straight away free, puts it in. The lead is down to 1.
Lalaban kami para sa playoffs.
Sazon, this time off the dribble, able to elude 2 defenders for the layup. Sazon rises for a free. 5th three-pointer from Ives Sazon.
Wala nang urungan to. Di kami susuko para sa Bataan.
Well executed play off a timeout as he backs.
Hindi rin kami papatalo. Lalaban kami para sa Ilagan.
Well, it's a do-or-die game. So, naka-ready kami rito. So, talagang kung sino yung manalo rito, pupuntang abra. So, talagang naka-prepare kami sa dapat na to. It's a battle, for sure.
The most difficult day comes before the breakthrough. And for today's game, we need to play collectively and we need to stay together. And if that happens, sure win ito para sa Ilagan Cowboys.
We are all knotted at 36 after the first 2 quarters. And you saw, Javi, how Ilagan Isabela got off to a really strong start, shooting 64% from the field. Shots were falling left and right in that first period, but pagdating ng second quarter, they had that 15-point lead, 28-13. Then we saw Bataan unwrap 20 unanswered points to take the lead briefly before itong Cowboys was able to recover and able to tie the ball game up.
Yeah, the defense of Bataan really picked up in the second quarter as well as their scoring. You remember there was a 5-minute drought para dito sa Ilagan Isabela in that second period where the Risers were able to take the lead and have it for a few minutes before the Cowboys were able to come back and tie things up. But we commented about how important it is for both teams to do well from the outside as well as from the free throw line. Actually, hindi yan tama, no? Yung free throw shooting. No, that's right pala. Tama, 0 out of 3 pa ang Ilagan Isabela from the free throw line in this game. My bad there. It's important in a close game like this that teams capitalize on free throw attempts as well as their outside shooting dahil given na yung kanilang production inside the paint because that is where they like to score because they have a bevy of big men who can finish inside. They have wing players who can drive to the basket and slash. Pero importante nga dito, sino ang mas makakadekada galing sa labas and who will take advantage of their opportunities at the free throw line.
Leading scorers for Bataan, JL Capulong with 8 points, Chris Javier with 7, 6 each from Rafi Octobre and Robbie Darang. For Ilagan Isabela, 9 of the 11 points coming in the first quarter for AJ Miranda. Dondon Dumaro hitting 3 3-pointers for a total of 9. 5 points for Tage Tumalip, Art De La Cruz with 4. Another turnover against the Cowboys. Chris Javier will not force up the shot, but a bad pass leads to a fast break opportunity. Tutoy Ramirez gives up the foul. 2 free throws coming up for Dondon Dumaro.
But on the prior play, Coach Luis Gonzalez was already fuming mad on that Ilagan sideline. He felt that there was already a foul, but referee Jay Castroverde let it go. Pero dito tinawagan niya na talaga. There's no way you're not gonna call a foul on that one.
Coach Louis visibly upset. He'll be warned after vehemently protesting to referee Jay Castroverde. They have a veteran crew, by the way. Edmar Avis, Alan Manzano, and Jay Castroverde. Dondon Dumaro hits the first free throw. Different starting unit here in the third for Ilagan Isabela. TH Tumalip earning the nod in lieu of Joshua Ramirez. While for Bataan, total revamp itong pagsisimula nila dito sa third period. Mitchell Maines getting that nod also with Tutoy Ramirez, Chris Javier, and Jamil Gabawan.
Well, for Ilagan, I think the objective of Coach Louis here was to surround AJ Miranda with shooters on both sides of his wing. And for the Bataan Risers, of course, ayaw na nila mangyari. Yung nangyari sa kanila in that first quarter where they had to bleed for their points, literally.
2-point lead for the Cowboys. De La Cruz, one-hander, no good. But a foul whistled against Chris Javier, clipping the arm of Art.
Oh, 2 different generations of San Beda Red Cups.
Yeah.
Of course, Art went on to play with San Beda while Chris Javier went on to play with UE in college.
Let's check in with Andrea.
During the huddle, you can clearly see the frustration in the faces of the coaches of Ilagan. Sabi nga ni Coach Louis, we don't need unnecessary fouls. And one more thing, free throws. Ang layo ng difference from Bataan. Art De La Cruz and AJ Miranda might have started strong in the first half, pero sabi nga kanina ni Art, we really need more from our teammates. As he shared to me, this is the first time in my career that he had to fill in 2 roles in a team. Be a leader and be a scorer. Mahirap daw talaga balansehin. Mahirap pumili kung alin ang uunahin. It's like he's trying to be vocal to the team, but at the same time, he has to give himself a pat on the back. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. TH Tumalip with an emphatic rejection on Mitchell Maines.
You don't see that every time. Mitchell Maines usually gets to overpower his defender, especially on drives like that. But the good thing about what TH Tumalip did there is he forced Mitchell Maynes out of the shaded area.
Gumaru attacks the closeout. They lost it. Mitchell Maynes doesn't see Ramirez ahead. Dire-derecho Mitchell Maynes. And this time, TH Tumalip forced to give up that foul.
Eh, sayang dahil nakatingin siya sa sahig when Ramirez was already wide open on the other side. But good thing he was able to attack that defense that went down para sa Ilagan. Ang problema, he has been struggling from the free throw line in this game.
Yeah. Another miss. LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Just going back to Andres' report, though, a lot riding on the shoulders of Art de la Cruz. He's been the focal point of the offense here for Ilagan Isabela, as well as being the leader. This is a young team. I mean, they have a lot of players with PBA experience, but when you look at the average age of these guys, mga nasa late 20s din, Javi. So parang si Art de la Cruz, despite him not being on the older side, parang siya rin yung nagiging de facto leader para dito sa Ilagan Isabela.
That's something that he has to deal with right now at this point of his career, no? As we see that three-point shot by AJ Miranda. Yeah, him going down here to the MPBL, Art de la Cruz, he's given this kind of challenge. And I think it's only right that he goes through this right now if he wants to evolve more into a better player. Dahil hindi pa naman siya nasa twilight ng kanyang karera.
Yeah.
Marami pang pwede mangyari sa kanya. And for him to step it up a notch, I think him becoming a leader while also becoming that focal point of the offense is something that he has to learn how to do.
And also the point being made here as De La Cruz hits the deck, Ramirez called for that foul, is that talagang alam niya na kailangan din niya ng katulong dito. No? But we see here this attack and a kick out. Second free from AJ Miranda.
If you're talking about help, good thing AJ Miranda has been up to the task in this game. And what's nice about this, as we see that answer by Tutoy Ramirez, what's nice about AJ Miranda producing in this game, he's doing it in the fast break and in the half court. He's doing it within the flow of the offense. You see he's not forcing any breakdowns offensively. He's not trying to take his defender one-on-one. Robbie Darang scoring there para sa Bataan. And that's what's nice for the Cowboys. They're in a good rhythm in that part of the floor. Ang kailangan na lang nila talaga trabahuin dito ay for them to minimize their fouls, and keep Bataan out of the free throw line, and also minimize rin yung kanilang turnovers.
Bataan has done a great job of defending without fouling. Jamil Gabawan, now the recipient of that gorgeous pass from Tutoy Ramirez. Lamang ulit ang Bataan, 44-42. Miranda leading the way with 14 markers. Gumaru also in double figures with 11. Bounce pass to Alan Santos. Balik kay Dondon Gumaru. TH Tumalip. Catch and shoot free. It will roll out. Gabawan with another board.
So far in this game, in that department, three-point shooting, it's been Ilagan leading the way against Bataan. 7 out of 16 now after that Tumalip miss.
Tutoy Ramirez forced into a miss. Nice cut backdoor by Dondon Gumaru, who scores underneath.
If you notice in this game, Ken, the reason why AJM has been thriving, that ball hasn't stayed in his hands for more than 5 seconds.
Fifth assist from AJ Miranda. Poor pass by Tutoy Ramirez leads to a turnover for Bataan.
On or before 5 seconds, that ball is either going to be an attempted shot by AJ Miranda or passes like this to a cutting teammate. That time, it was Don Gumaru.
Nagpahinga muna si Robbie Darang. In comes Alfred Flores, also Hubert Cani replacing Tutoy Ramirez. Yambing also making an appearance. One guy we haven't seen so far here in the third is Ives Sazon. 44 apiece. Coco Pingoy. Bagsak si Art de la Cruz. Nagtaas ng kamay si Alfred Flores. Alan Santos had something to say to Alfred. Coco also earlier having a fire exchange with Alfred Flores.
A lot of odds at stake in this game.
De La Cruz still on the deck. He's battled a lot of injuries in his career.
Yes,
Also missed 2 months
yes.
midway in the season.
It's really gonna hurt if De La Cruz has to sit out a part of this game. We hope it's nothing bad. He's still on the floor right now.
Yeah.
He seems to be in a little bit of pain still. At alam naman natin, we've already commented about this already, Ken, during the course of this coverage. The difference when Art is not on the floor, especially in games like this for the Cowboys. We saw that in overtime against Pangasinan in their last game. That could have been a game that could have already pushed them to the 7th seed in the North instead of battling Bataan here for the right to earn the Afro Weavers.
Number 3, Alfred Flores for excessive hard contact.
So Alfred Flores tagged with an unsportsmanlike foul after our referees reviewed that last play. Okay. We've seen Joshua Ramirez do that to Tutoy earlier, but this one much more excessive.
It was really hard contact right there. But tama ka, Ken, no? Papareho nga yung nangyari doon. It was just mere body bump. Kaya lang yung diferensya kasi dito kay na ginawa ni Alfred Flores, talagang medyo may konting wind up with the shoulder. May konting movement. Yung kanina, halos body bump lang yung kay Josh Ramirez, kay Tutoy.
Good sign that Art De La Cruz is up to take the free throws. 6-4-4 tonight for Art. 3 out of 6 from the line. Again, if you just tuned in, no Dennis Santos for Ilagan Isabela. 46-44. 2-point lead. Nice lob inside to Gumaru, but will not force it up. They will reset their offense. De La Cruz gives it up to Coco Pingoy. Balik kay Art. He's been adept at drawing fouls at that range with those flip shots. Jamil Gamawan whistled for his second foul.
Matindi rin kasi yung kontra-champ ang ginagawa niya. He's doing it in a very unorthodox manner, but it's working.
Art De La Cruz, what an incredible season. 14 double-doubles this season. 12 times with at least 10 rebounds and 4 times with at least 10 assists this year. But he would like nothing more than to give Ilagan Isabela a trip to the playoffs in its maiden season. He hits both free throws. It's now 48-44. Cowboys with a 4-point advantage.
That would really be a big accomplishment para sa kanila. He comes up with a steal. Oh my goodness.
Striding down the lane, off a steal and score. 6 straight points for Art De La Cruz.
He's been able to bend the rules in his favor in this game, Ken. That was a legal play.
Alfred Flores makes his move. Napituhan ng foul si Coco Pingoy.
It was so clever, we're gonna have to see it again. Check it out right here.
Gixer, great move of the game, born for greatness.
Tama kasi pagkakuha niya, tumapak siya agad eh. That counts as a gather. And then the 0 step, actually, 0-1 pa nga lang yun eh. He could have taken another step.
Fouls piling up on the side of the Cowboys. Back-to-back fouls against Coco Pingoy.
Yun na talaga ang naging problema sa laro na to para sa Ilagan. Each quarter, they've gotten into the penalty at around the same time.
Yeah. Something Coach Louie lamented on that halftime huddle.
At sakit na nila yan buong season.
JL Capulong banging bodies with Alan Santos. That signature one-hander from JL.
Pinong-pino, under pressure, no problem, stayed composed. even against a very capable and veteran defender like Alan Santos.
First guy in double figures for Bataan with 10 markers. DH Tumalip able to escape and score amongst the trees of Bataan.
And that's going to his weak hand. Remember, Tumalip is a lefty. Yambing has not been felt in this game, has yet to make a significant impact.
Still no Ives Sazon for Bataan. Bumaru trying to elude Alfred Flores. Art de la Cruz pulls the trigger and scores! Art de la Cruz, 9 of his 13 points coming here in the third period.
Rhythm jumper, no problem para kay Art de la Cruz. You see here Pingoy stepping into the lane. This was the drive by Tumalip. Put that ball up in the air to get it away from the defense. And here, little Spain action. Santos de la Cruz gets out of that bottom screen. And then de la Cruz right there, hand in the face. Walang ka-problema para kay Art de la Cruz.
Fan of the Game is brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Glad to have you with us here tonight, here at the corn capital of the Philippines in Ilagan City, and the Queen Province of the North, Isabela. Art de la Cruz, gaya ng binanggit natin kanina, 9 na puntos galing dito sa quarter na ito for a total of 13 points and has carried Ilagan to this 8-point lead over Bataan, 54-46. 3.5 to go here in the third. Alfred Flores maneuvers but can't score. De La Cruz with another rebound. DH, balik kay De La Cruz. He is feeling it and he drills in that 3.
He's got it stuck on automatic right now, Ken. Art de la Cruz this time getting it from beyond the arc.
Lead has ballooned back to double digits at 11. William Bing. 6 seconds on their shot clock. Flores behind the back, stepping back for 3. Can't get it to go. Octobre with the offensive board. Kani trying to shake off Coco Pingoy. These two have met in high school. Octobre with another offensive rebound and this time sticking it back in.
A nice cleanup job there galing kay Rafi Octobre. That was a much needed basket. The Bataan was in a sort of a drop there before that make by Rafi.
Art de la Cruz, the man of the moment. 12 of his 16 points here in the third. Gets it back from Alan Santos. Another 3-point attempt. This time off target. Alfred Flores nagtitimon. Pinuntahan si Hubert Kani against Coco Pingoy. Kani almost lost his dribble. Now he recovers. Launches. No good. Dondon Gumaru with the board. Coco Pingoy and Hubert Kani reacquainting themselves.
They've been foes, they've been teammates, and now magkalaban ulit.
Dondon Gumaru with 5 on their shot clock. Santos forcing out that pass. Flores comes away with a steal. Octobre tatakbo dito. Trying to protect his dribble. Gathers himself and scores off the glass.
Just like in the second quarter, Rafi Octobre has been that lifeline para dito sa Bataan.
This is TH. Trying to shake off William Bing. Gives it up to Art de la Cruz, balik kay TH. Now it's with Art. 2 former teammates with Davao Occidental. Art de la Cruz fouled. Oh man. Oh, that is something you don't want to see.
Oh my goodness. Hate to see that, especially after the big game he's been having.
Grimacing in pain. Art de la Cruz, hopefully nothing serious. Coach Louie, obviously worried. De la Cruz still down on the floor. 57-50, a minute remaining here in the third period.
He's had problems with that ankle before.
Yeah, that right foot landing
Yes,
on that right foot as well by
twisted
Rafi
it.
Octobre.
he twisted it. Masakit talaga yan. The onset of the pain, sobrang tulis kasi.
Yeah.
Especially coming from a jump. Masakit talaga yan.
Now the hope, if you're Ilagan Isabela, is he's able to return and hindi masyadong serious yung ankle sprain na meron siya, because again, if they get past this game, 2 days from now, they will face off against the Abra Solid North Weavers.
Yeah, that's really going to be
Upon
painful.
review, it's a disqualifying foul on number 11, Rafi Octobre. Rafi Octobre is out of the playing court.
Disqualifying foul.
Now that one, I'm very surprised. I'm surprised about that call. Unsportsmanlike foul, yes. But disqualifying foul, I'm surprised about that whistle. I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah, obviously. But did the gravity of the situation made it merit into into a disqualifying foul?
I mean, certainly it plays a factor into how a referee should judge the call, but I really don't agree with that. It being a disqualifying foul. Yes, an unsportsmanlike foul because it was definitely a landing spot foul, but disqualifying foul, that's very surprising. Josh Guillaume will be taking the free throws in lieu of Art de la Cruz. We're definitely going to be hearing an update from Andrea on how Art de la Cruz is doing.
So Josh Guillaume shooting the free throws for him, missing the first. So the interpretation of our referees was it was intentional, meaning to say pinasok niya daw yung paa niya dun sa cylinder. What do you think about that, Javi?
I don't think it was coming from that replay. Di na nga siya nakatingin eh.
Well, obviously, if you're Bataan, such an unfortunate development here. You lose one rotation player who's been playing well, by the way. 10 points.
He's not just your rotation player, Ken. He's your leader. He's your main offensive weapon.
Now they will have to do this without Rafi Octobre as Robbie Darang comes away with a block. Let's see if something lights up here for Bataan. Darang able to bank it in. It's down to 6, 58-52.
I'm never going to condone what happened there to Art de la Cruz, but this certainly could be a window of opportunity here for the Risers to get back into this game once again.
AJ Miranda gives it up to Josh Guillaume, facing up against Chris Xavier. Miranda in stride for free, off the heel. Offensive rebound by Joshua Ramirez. About a 2-second differential between shot and game clock, but Miranda off the bounce, can't get it to go. Kapulong has time. foul by Coco Pingoy. Both teams are in penalty.
Oh, what about JL Capulong? Handling the basketball the past 2 plays down the floor for the Risers.
So free throws coming up for JL Capulong. 10 points, 5 rebounds. Short on the first. They've had a lot of attempts, but also a lot of misses. Just 12 out of 23 from the stripe. First miss from JL Capulong. Now 5 out of 6. 4 seconds left. Miranda off the dribble. Still some time. Puts it up. Can't get that one to fall, and that's gonna do it here in a third quarter where the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys lost Art de la Cruz. Bataan with the injection of Ravi Octobre trying to will their way back. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Really pity to not have Art de la Cruz at least for that latter part of the third quarter. It still remains to be seen kung makakabalik pa siya or how he's doing, but what a third quarter that was para sa kanya. He almost single-handedly delivered the goods for the Cowboys, helping them to that lead in the third period and also being able to maintain it within 5 at the end of this quarter.
Back with us here inside the Capital Arena in Ilagan Isabela, where we bring you the play-in knockout match between Bataan and Ilagan Isabela. Muli po Ken Panglinan with Javi Balanya at courtside. We have Miss Andrea Endicio. 5-point lead for the Cowboys here as we start the fourth period. JL Capulong with a reverse. You see the quarter scoring here, 21-10 for Ilagan Isabela the first. Bumawi naman yung Bataan in the second period, and then behind Art de la Cruz scoring 12 of the 22 points of the Cowboys in that third, but unfortunately injuring his ankle, and he is still being attended to here. We'll probably have an update later from Andrea on his status. DH to Malip, flips it up, no good. Foul given up by Alan Santos.
That's a totally unnecessary foul, Ken. Not even a minute into this fourth quarter. Possession already secured by Bataan. There's no opportunity for a fast break. I don't understand why you have to commit a foul.
Someone got teed up here.
I saw 2 tees given out by referee Jay Castroverde. Alan Santos obviously not agreeing to it.
I think Tutoy Ramirez was also in the fray there.
There may have been a few words said between those two guys.
Parang double technical ito, ha?
Yes.
Let's listen in.
Technical foul on number 18, Tutoy Ramirez. For unsportsmanlike behavior is fourth. Technical foul on Alan Santos for unsportsmanlike behavior. Or second infraction, Alan Santos, 5 fouls.
Yeah, you talked about how poor that foul was, and then compounding their woes with a technical foul. He is out of the ball game. 5 fouls already for Alan Santos. And that's big, Javi, considering you don't have Art de la Cruz. Yung frontline rotation ng Ilagan Isabela mabubutasan dito.
Especially in a game like this, you need that veteran leadership. Especially because this game has been very close. Look at what happened there. Totally unnecessary.
Also remember, no Dennis Santos.
Yes. So now the Cowboys playing severely undermanned here in a game which is very high stake.
Chris Javier to tie the ball game up. That shot from downtown will rattle out, and a foul. Another one against Ilagan Isabela.
This is where Bataan can use their height advantage in, try and dominate the glass. Well, they have been doing that offensively in this game. They're +5 overall in terms of rebounds. Now that you don't have a lot of bodies to defend the paint and on the block, J-Boy Solis has been solid, but so far there haven't been any other guys who may try to compete well defending guys like Capulong and Javier on the block and inside the paint. You also have Jamil Gabao still on the bench, so lots of options in the front court for Bataan compared to limited right now for the Cowboys.
J-Boy Solis, no hesitation. It will bounce out. Bola na tapik palabas ng Bataan. But it seems like they're contemplating on whether to challenge that last out-of-bounds play, but they will not. It will stay with the Cowboys with a fresh 14 on their shot clock. Miranda gives it up to TH Tumalip. No good on the free. Diab got caught pushing off. Another foul against Ilagan Isabela.
He hasn't had any luck in this game in terms of boxing out. Lagi nila siya napipituhan dito sa second half. That's 2 straight times he's been called for a loose ball foul.
And not even 1 minute and 30 seconds in, they are in penalty.
Yes.
Capulong goes to work immediately and scores on the interior.
See what I'm talking about there. Giab was there to defend, Solis was there to help, but it was a little late, and already Capulong was on his way to making that step into that hook shot.
Miranda can't hit the free. Gomaru, smart play. Able to fish for that foul against Robbie Darang.
That's experience for you there, coming from a veteran shooter in the league like Don Gomaru. But you see here, JL Capulong backing down itong si Josh Giab. Obviously, Giab not wanting to give up any more fouls. That's why he had to play him a little less aggressively on that play.
3 free throws for Don Gomaru. Hailing from Alingilan, second dito sa Ilagan Isabela. Got off from a trade with Allen Mina, involving Allen Mina with the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And he grew up under the tutelage of Coach Pao Rivero here. This free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Dati-dati, sari-sari daw mga barangay courts nilaruan niya dito, Javi, and eventually playing for Arellano. Also played for Coach Tim Cone and was a feisty defender, a tremendous shooter. And here, providing the goods already with 15 points.
Yeah, he's been solid in this game, Ken. You know, Coach Louis has put a lot of trust in him. He's one player that he really wanted to have simula pa lang ng season. No? He has a lot of trust in Gomaru as a player and as a shooter. But this guy, he also practically grew up under the tutelage of Coach Louis Gonzalez. I'm talking about Josh Giab, and he got a pass from someone who shared that kind of experience in AJ Miranda.
Just his 3rd game after that injury he suffered, missed 2 months, averaged just 3 points per contest in his first 2 games back. But here, with a lot of guys absent, has stepped up, 5 points, 3 rebounds, make that 6 off that bonus free throw.
Naging malaking dagok yun, no, para sa Ilagan yung pagkawala ni Josh Giab, especially because it's no secret that Coach Louis' system is very tough to understand in a short period of time. That's why he really relies a lot on Josh to help streamline that development of the understanding by the other big men in the front court for the Cowboys. That's why nung nawala siya, no, medyo nahirapan talaga yung Ilagan.
AJ Miranda drives baseline. Can't finish. 6-point lead. Mitchell Minus attacking the defense. Forcing it up. No good.
He was forced into a deep spot right there on that right side.
Bola na tapik. Ramirez could not save it.
Good thing he's okay.
Yeah. Crashing onto the stanchion board on the side of Ilagan Isabela. Persevere will give JL Capulong a breather here. At stake. Ilagan Isabela searching their very first playoff appearance in the MPBL, while Bataan, a proud franchise, missed the playoffs the past couple of seasons, would like to return. Miranda gives it up to TH Tumalip. Ives Sazon making his first appearance here in the second half as Jamil Gabawan comes away with a steal. The pass to Ives! Second block from TH Tumalip!
Well, what about the timing on shots in this game by TH Tumalip? He has been on point. Wow, what a rejection right there.
3 from J-Boy, 2 from TH. Ives Sazon, jab step, puts it on the deck. Attacks the defense of AJ Miranda but could not score. Miranda quickly to Dondon Dumaru. Free for a free short. Poor foul. They are in penalty. Dumaru giving up that foul.
A lot of frustration already, but that was a good look by the Cowboys. Gumaro getting that open three on that left wing. I love how they did not put the ball on the floor as much. Miranda did not even dribble anymore. Even trying to way to Don Gumaro on that left wing. Mintis niya lang talaga. And these are really one of the things that are keeping Bataan in this game. It's the volume of free throws that they've been taking. Pero naisip mo nga Ken, di ba? Kung napasok lang nila halos kalahati ng mga mintis nila, this would have been an even closer game.
Yeah. Ramirez sinking the first free throw. Bataan only 56% from the line tonight. But hitting both was Tutoy Ramirez. Lead down to 4.
But if you're looking at the trend from their previous games, you know, that game between Bataan and Pasig and that game between Ilagan and Pangasinan, it's the team that ended up shooting better from the free throw line and the three-point area that actually ended out on top. And in this game, it's Ilagan who is on top in both of those categories.
Torching the nets, Dondon Gumaru with his 4th free. And this one, much important at it gives Ilagan Isabela a 7-point lead, 66-59, timeout Bataan. Dondon Gumaru finding the touch from downtown. 18 points with 4 threes to go along with 3 rebounds and 2 assists.
Already surpassing his total from that last game against the Heat Waves where he had 11 points, and we are not yet finished here. Gumaru trying to be that one to steady the ship in lieu of Art de la Cruz. AJ Miranda hasn't been his usual self here in the second half. Thankfully for Ilagan, Gumaru has been that guy.
Speaking of Art de la Cruz, we have an update from Miss Andrea Andisio.
We saw how Art de la Cruz was trying to walk after what happened to him, but unfortunately, striking daw talaga yung pain. The last time he got an ankle injury was with his left, but this time it's his right. His right ankle is starting to swell and is currently being iced inside the dugout with the extreme and sharp pain. He took some pain medication already, but he'd be out for the rest of the game. Back to you guys.
Such an unfortunate development for Ilagan Isabela. Maraming salamat, Andrea, for that report. Under 6 minutes remaining, so the Cowboys will have to do this without their leader, Art De La Cruz. But it's Don Gumaru who has stepped up here in the fourth quarter. Chris Javier open for free. It's good. Nicely done on that set by Bataan.
They left Chris Javier wide open there. Bataan was able to assess the defense well. Ilagan picked their poison. Were they going to give that drive to Alfred Flores or allow that open three by Chris Javier? That's what they picked, that Chris Javier outside shot. Good thing Javier was able to capitalize.
Ilagan Isabela coming up empty on that trip. Tutoy to Ives. Catch and shoot free. Off the mark. Bola tatalbog sa baseline. Babalik ang possession sa panig ng Ilagan Isabela.
Sazon has yet to make his stride in this game. Continuing to miss itong si Ives.
In fact, scoreless.
Yes.
And has played only 7 minutes.
He's 0 out of 7 from the field.
J-Boy. Tatalbog palabas. Rebound nakuha ni Ives Sazon. Past the halfway point of the fourth period. Tutoy Ramirez has 4 fouls. Chris Javier surveying the floor. Gives it up to Alfred Flores. Flores launches. It will bounce out. Bola mananatili sa panig ng Bataan. So a free guard set up again for Bataan. Tutoy Ramirez, Hubert Cani, and Alfred Flores together.
That's how confident the coaching staff is in these 3 guys.
Yeah.
You saw after that miss by Alfred Flores, Coach Ogie Gumate kept egging on Alfred na kumpiyansa lang, tira ka lang ng tira.
Hubert Cani under the wrist. Left that one short. Ball.
He had to take that. That was a shot clock winding down.
Ilagan Isabela chance to create some separation, but they're forced into another turnover. But a counter steal by Don Gumaru. And free on the other side was TH Tumalip. 9 points for TH. Crucial swing there. Instead of Bataan cutting it to 2, it's now up to 6. Flores.
There's a mismatch.
And it's with Gabawan. They could not locate him down low. Gabawan tried to keep it alive, but it will go back to Ilagan Isabela. Jel Cabulong replacing Jamil Gabawan. Robbie Darang also getting Alfred Flores a reprieve. Wow. Jamil Gabawan, as he was walking back to the bench, had some choice words for game officials and got teed up. No, actually kicked the stanchion board. The boy Don Gumaru, his second time playing at home, 19 points, hitting that technical free throw.
Now he is gonna relish this experience dahil matagal-tagal pa bago sila makabalik dito.
And that would only happen if they probably get to the national finals.
Exactly.
But first order of business is to get out of the play, and J-Boy Soles attacking the closeout, but was whistled with a traveling violation.
That's the right call. He shuffled his pivot foot upon receipt of the basketball. And now this gives another opportunity for Bataan. Now can the Risers actually prove to themselves and to everyone else that they can come back from this lead and pull off a victory?
With no Art De La Cruz, no Dennis Santos, Mark Dyke in sick bay. 10 seconds left sa shot clock ng Bataan. Under 3 minutes left here in regulation. Kani pulls the trigger way off. Ramirez tried to save it, and he does. He was able to draw a foul. The Cowboys are in penalty. Olegario whistled for the foul, having another appearance here late in the fourth quarter.
Just like in that game against Pangasinan where he was inserted almost at the same time. He's someone that Coach Louie has turned to give some energy to change yung flow ng game, no? He's that guy who can actually affect the energy off the bench just because of his dynamic play. Ito si Jer Olegario.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful. Foul on J.R. Olegario.
Unsuccessful challenge. Jer Olegario whistled for that foul. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a foul there.
Tutoy Ramirez back at the line, where he is so far having a nice shooting clip. And he hits the first. Tutoy Ramirez with 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 out of 5 from the free throw line, playing 26 minutes. Though he has 4 fouls, has been the primary defender against Ajem Miranda. Lead down to 5. Still a little below 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Josh Giab, no handoff opportunity. Bagsak si Robbie Darang. Baseline drive by Gumaru, setting up Josh Giab, who got rejected. Agawan sa bola sa ilalim. Ramirez comes away with it, but it's a jump ball situation. Possession arrow pointing to the Cowboys, but only 1 second left on their shot clock.
That's a big stop there defensively by Bataan. All they have to do right now is defend that 1 second on the shot clock. But what's important rin para sa kanila, they need to get knocked down offensively and score a basket.
Both teams in penalty. Bataan only has 1 timeout remaining. Baseline inbound for AJ Miranda. Solis catch and shoot. No good. It's a shot clock violation. Ball did not hit the rim. Lucky break for Bataan because they were unable to secure the defensive rebound. Mitchell Maynes, Tutoy Ramirez, Robbie Darang, Chris Xavier, and JL Capulong, the unit for Coach Ogie Gumatay. Tutoy Ramirez, how about Tutoy with 11 markers here in a do-or-die game against the Cowboys.
Big shot right there, and he managed to do that in just a short amount of time, Ken.
Sorry, 12 points for Tutoy as we enter the last 2 minutes. Miranda has been held in check here in the fourth. 3-point shot will not work. Ball saved to the wrong guy, but Mitchell Maynes unable to keep it in play.
Oh, that's what J.R. Olegario is there for. That could have been Mitchell Maynes already trying to cross the timeline or giving it up to a guy in front of him. Instead, Olegario was there being that pest defensively. And now he forces a turnover on Bataan.
Another close game, Javi, much like in Mindoro. Last spot in the division. We saw Mindoro hold their own in their home floor, weathering that late fight back by the Cebu Greats. Now Ilagan Isabela trying to do the same against a very determined One Bataan Riser squad.
Yeah, I'm sure this will have to be the most exciting postseason yet that we're going to have in the MPBL. This is just the play-in tournament. The playoffs haven't even started yet.
Kumbaga sa meal heavy, appetizer pa lang
Mismo.
ito.
Busog ka na. What more yung mga main course natin?
The playoffs will start in just 2 days. Now, which team will emerge and book the last ticket to the North Division playoffs? TH Tumalib had time but can't hit the free. Agawan sa bola, nakuha ni JL Capulong. He got fouled and the Cowboys are over the limit.
Another terrible foul given up there. Just like in the regular season. This just might be the death of Ilagan in this game. Those unnecessary fouls. It all started here in the fourth quarter with Alan Santos giving up his 5th personal foul. That was not even a minute into the period. Got into the penalty around the 4-minute mark. Just past the 5-minute point of our quarter. And because of that, they've given Bataan numerous opportunities at the free throw line, although it hasn't been really sunny at the charity stripe for Bataan in this game. It still gives them hope because they're giving them a tips with the clock stop and nobody in front of you.
Capulong, for much of the season, has struggled from the line, but tonight, 6 out of 7. 16 points to go along with 7 rebounds.
Yeah, he's their best free throw shooter tonight.
But a big miss on the back end of those free throws. But still just a 2-point ball game. Miranda struggling to find his offense here in the fourth. Has been held in check by Tutoy Ramirez. Miranda makes his move. Sent back to the friend zone by JL Capulong.
Excellent help defense right there. Galing kay JL Capulong. Not only doing it on the offensive side, but also protecting the basket when they needed him to do so. Especially with the clock winding down, Miranda was able to blow by the initial defender. Good thing Capulong was there to prevent the basket.
Coach Louis Gonzalez using one of his 2 remaining timeouts. We'll be back after the short break. JL Capulong had 19 points and 8 rebounds and then elimination round meeting. But tonight, Javi almost duplicating that performance. 16 points, 7 rebounds on an efficient shooting clip from the field and from the line.
Yeah, ang maganda dito sa kanya, no? He's been doing it in a very quiet manner. But because of that, Bataan has gotten back into this game. When the other guys, the main guys, weren't able to produce, look who came to the fray. JL Capulong, steady big man para sa Bataan sa laro na to.
And that was their last meeting way back more than 5 months ago, or almost 5 months ago, where Ilagan Isabela edging Bataan in Orion. Ilagan Isabela winning against Bataan 69-67. We have a close encounter today. 69-67 is our score.
And another curious thing to add to that, Ken, is JL Capulong was also the leading scorer for Bataan in that game. He had 19 points.
Bola muntik na maagaw. Miranda recovers, puts it up, no good. Time winding down. But Bataan could not secure the defensive rebound.
Oh boy. Hold on.
Under a minute left. Miranda with 2 seconds. Tumale for free. No good. Rebound, JL Capulong. Mitchell Mines attacks. Got fouled. And 2 more free throws coming up for Bataan.
Definitely a foul. Wise move made there by Mitchell Mines. Did not force it going all the way to the rack. Instead, put his back to the basket right here against Tumalib on the drive. Ayun, naabutan ng konting wrist ni PH Tumalib. Ito si Mitchell Mines.
Pressured packed free throws for Mitchell Mines, who calmly sinks the first. Art De La Cruz. His right ankle taped and iced.
I'm sure he wishes nothing more than to be on the floor right now with his teammates.
To tie the ball game up at 69 apiece. He does. Mitchell Mines with clutch free throws.
3 out of 8 prior to those two charities, Ken. Sinking it when it matters the most.
39.7 seconds left. Both teams in penalty. Umaru with a basketball against Robbie Darang. 5 deadlocks and 5 lead changes to this one. Miranda to J-Boy Solis. Give and go with Miranda. Nice play. And it forces a foul against Bataan. But AJ Miranda, not really a good free throw shooter this season.
And that's also going to be Ramirez's 5th foul already. You know how important he is. He has been, rather, here in the 4th quarter para sa Bataan. That's going to be a big loss for the Risers. But I love how the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys still went to their set play in a very crucial possession. Usually you let your main man, you make a decision, try to break down the defense one-on-one, or it's going to be a pick and roll situation, pick and pop. That time though, they opted to go with a real give and go from the top of the circle, giving it up. Ito si J-Boy Solis quickly after AJ Miranda hit him just above that top of the key.
AJ Miranda in their last game, only 3 out of 6 from the line. Tonight, 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Hitting the first free throw. Expect a timeout here from Bataan if he makes the second. His first trip from the free throw line. Hits both. Much to the delight of the Ilagan Isabela crowd. Last time out being used here by the One Bataan Risers. Let's see what they can map out for the last 25.5 seconds of regulation. And we see here Bataan down by 2. Let's listen in.
Chris, ikaw to ha. Chris, doon siya tayo mag-inbound. 14-20 po. 14 na, 14 tayo. Chris, okay. Kapulong, ikaw to ha. Jen, ikaw to ha. Darang. Hindi. Sason, ikaw to. Okay, Sason. Sino ito isa?
Rabi. Mines, Darang.
Mines. Okay.
Rabi, mag-inbound si Rabi.
Rabi. Rabi, nakasama mo lobo. Ganito lang ha. Chris, take tayo sabay ha. Mines. Pag-take niya, labas lang eh. Mines, lumabas ka agad ha. Sabay ha. Sason, bigyan mo big si Kapulong dito. Pag meron, bigyan mo. Pag wala, si Bes, mapapout. Yan lang.
Mines,
Yeah. Diretso ha. Pero pag si Chris, libre-libre, bigay mo na. Pero pag wala, tingnan mo, either si Kapulong lang o si Sason ha.
So they opt to inbound it heavy on the front court. So 14 seconds on their shot clock. What were you able to draw out of that last huddle?
Well, they're looking at various options here, no? Coach Mactan was very clear. First of all, sinabi niya kay Robbie Darang na tibahin mong lobo, lakasan mong lobo. They're looking at a middle option here. They're going to Kapulong. There you go.
Kapulong forcing it up. Ball will stay with Bataan.
He was really hammered by the defense there.
Oh, kinuyog siya dun.
A triple team on JL Kapulong. But this was a nice setup. You see almost 3 guys coming. Tumalip was a little late, but Gomaro and J-Boy Solis did a good job of preventing a shot, defending without fouling.
Sazon for the lead. No! Ball batted around, and it ends up with Ilagan Isabela with 14.2 seconds left. Josh Giab will go to the line. A chance to make this a 2-possession ball game.
I did not feel the need for a 3-point shot. There was still time remaining for a better look. This was defended by AJ Miranda. Miss Javier was open on the left side. There could have been an option to swing it back down to the post where JL Capulong has been so effective in this game. Remember, there has not been a lot of big men that has been able to stop Capulong sa laro na to. But Ives Sazon choosing to play hero ball right there, I don't think that was the right decision from Ives Sazon. He has been scoreless in this game. He's missed a ton of shots and yet still trying to go for that three-pointer when there was still a lot of time for you to go for a quick two.
A putrid night, to say the least, for Ives Sazon. 0 of 8 from the field. Although we've seen him numerous times, even though with a poor shooting night, bail his teams out, but not tonight. Well, at least on that possession. Josh Giab also injuring his ankle, so Coco Pingoy replacing him, taking these free throws. Coco Pingoy sinks in the first.
Well, he's no stranger to moments like this. He was born for situations like this.
This to make it a 2-possession ball game. He does! Bataan has no more timeouts. Robbie Darang attacks. Lays it up and in. 8.3 seconds left. Bataan still alive. Coach Louie Gonzalez will burn his final timeout. A chance to advance the ball. This was nicely done though by Robbie Darang.
Well, ito sana yung basket na kinailangan nila kanina, a 2-point shot. But now you have a lot of pressure to foul quickly on the other side to prevent the clock from going down and giving yourselves a chance to.
Dali lang. Pag binigay dito, double, di ba? Pag 1 second bilang tayo, foul kagad tayo pag wala kuha. Pare, ang gusto ko mangyari, pag dito binigay, ito dumabol, yun ang tao rito, mag-just muna, papaglabi natin to, saka natin salubungin. Basta pagkakuha, okay, i-shake mo lang to! I-shake mo lang tayo, Jen! Okay, dito tayo, hanapin natin si Jen. Ingat na lang sa bola! Ingat lang sa bola!
So both assistant coaches running the plays for their respective squads. Coach Nixon Ramos for Ilagan Isabela, Coach Mactan for Bataan. 8.3 seconds left. Bataan, if they don't come away with a steal, they need to foul quickly here. Humalip gives it up to Pingoy. Sazon gives up the foul. Pingoy will troop to the line, potentially to ice the ball game here with 7.2 seconds. Coco Pingoy came from that trade involving Philip Manalang. Big miss.
Wow. I was about to say earlier, that's not the guy you want to foul. Did a good job of getting it to the right guy, but Pingoy missing on that first free throw. This now gives a window of opportunity, even if this will be a make.
3-point ball game. If you're Ilagan Isabela, do you foul or play it out? Robbie Darang to Mitchell Mines, stepping back, gives it up to Darang for free. No! A historic feat for the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys as they withstand the spirited rally by the One Bataan Risers and earn the last ticket to the MPBL playoffs.
Such a painful loss for the Risers, especially after they have been riding a winning streak coming into this game. It was a tough matchup from start to finish. They were down early, managed to make a big comeback in the second quarter. Another drought happening in the third period, and they managed to get things right just in time during the fourth quarter. But in the end, some missed shots, some poor decisions, ultimately playing into the outcome of this game for the Risers. But props to them. It was a well-fought game.
And they dealt with a lot of adversity in this game, Javi. Lost Art De La Cruz in the third quarter. Dennis Santos did not even suit up. Mark Dyke was in sick bay. But they were able to survive this war of attrition between them and the One Bataan Risers. Hats off to Bataan for a gallant stand, traveling on the road twice, but just falling short. Our final score, 71 for the One Bataan Risers, 74 for the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys. They book a date with the Abra Solid North Weavers on Friday. Let's go courtside to Miss Andrea Indicio.
Maraming salamat, Ken. First of all, Donald, congratulations. Dikit pa ang laban starting the second half. Art De La Cruz spearheaded that third quarter, pero matapos nga ang nangyari sa kanya, you stepped up. Next man up mentality, ikaw yon para sa Ilagan Isabela. How did you do it, Donald?
Nag-stick lang kami sa sinasabi ni Coach na kahit sino ipasok, kailangan namin sundin lang yung sistema. Doon kami malakas, kaya yun lang yung ginawa namin lahat. Hindi lang ako, lahat kami.
First season ng Ilagan Isabela Cowboys and yet playoffs na agad kayo. How will you guys plan to face the number 1 seed sa inyong division?
Wala pa. Paghahandaan pa namin bukas kung ano yung sasabihin ni Coach. Katulad nga ng sabi ko, stick lang kami sa plano namin, sa sistema namin. So, yun.
And I know, Donald, na tubong Ilagan Isabela ka. So I know you did this with all your heart. Anong gusto mong sabihin sa lahat ng mga kababayan mo na sumuporta sa iyo ngayong gabi?
Thank you! Tandi ka mo nga aming taga Ilagan. Lalo na the boss namin, si Mayor J, si Boss Jeo, Boss EJ, si Boss Jave. Thank you. At suporta ta pamilya, ta lingigan, ta kabarangay ko ta lingigan, ta suporta sa anak ko, sa asawa ko, nasa Manila, nanonood ngayon. Thank you sa suporta. Thank you, yun lang.
Alright, thank you so much. Once again, Donald Gumaro, our best player of the game. At syempre, kasama rin natin ang winning coach ng ball game na ito. Of course, Coach Louie Gonzalez. First of all, congratulations. And Coach, looking back into the elimination rounds, I know this team had a lot of ups and downs na kwento mo nga sa akin. So after this beautiful, beautiful win, how are you feeling? Anong masasabi mo sa naging laro nyo ngayong gabi?
Yeah, we really have to earn it. We need to earn it. Like what I told you before the game, the most difficult day is the day before that breakthrough. Yeah, we started well, we started perfectly. Pero ako kinakabahan talaga ako pag ganun yung simula kasi alam ko at some point babalik yung kalaban. Good thing na itong mga players ko really stayed together. Okay, it was evident, it was vital, especially nung nasaktan si Art. Nasaktan yung aming best player. Pero lumabas yung they played together, they played collectively. And kasi ako ramdam ko, the way they practice, the way yung sacrifices nila, alam ko deserve nila to eh. And pasalamat pa rin ako sa Diyos pasalamat ako kay Lord na ibinigay sa amin to at nakita niya na deserving kami.
And I know, Coach, that this is a time for celebration pero ang susunod niyong laban is against Abra. How do you plan to fight against the number 1 team?
Yeah, I don't know kung paano kami magse-celebrate kasi we need to get on the road tomorrow going to Abra. Siguro after this, okay, bibigyan ko sila ng konti pero we're gonna go back here tomorrow morning. We're gonna practice and prepare para doon sa playoff. And I wanted to take the opportunity as well kasi itong mga Ilagueños, nararamdaman ko sila. And lagi ko sinasabi sa mga players ko, nothing but your best. Only your best para maging fair tayo dun sa mga Ilagueños, sa mga taga-Isabeleños na sumusuporta sa amin, led by our team owner, si Boss Jeo, si Mayor J, the Diaz family, si Boss EJ, si Boss J, si Boss Ricky, si Boss Joey, at lahat ng mga taga-Ilagan dito na kami, para sa inyo, always remember na ibibigay palagi namin yung best namin.
Beautiful, beautiful words. Coach, baka meron pa kayong mga gustong batiin. Go ahead.
Siyempre, yung source ng strength ko, si Lord. Okay, yung misis ko, si Cherry. Okay, si Shelo, si Caitlyn, si Ann Luis, si Aliyah. Yung family ko, Gonzales family, Maling family. Maraming salamat sa paniniwala. Okay, alam naman natin to, we bring pride, especially doon kay Papa, okay, na nasa heaven na.
Thank you so much, Coach Louie Gonzalez. Once again, congratulations to the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys. Back to you, Ken and Javi.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. The famous words of Coach Louie Gonzalez. Pinamahirap kalaban yung hindi sumusuko. Whatever happens, hindi sarili, kundi sistema dahil tutulungan tayo niyan sa larong ito. And that came in handy here as they are the last team to earn a ticket here in the playoffs, Abby.
What a play-in tournament it has been, Ken. Close games all throughout. Halos from start to finish, save for that game between Bataan and Pasig. But every game, it has been special. It has been down the wire. And that just underscores how competitive the play-in tournament has been, and is gonna be a good appetizer, sabi mo na nga kanina, no, to how the playoffs will be. Abangan nyo to, mga kaliga. This is gonna be a very exciting postseason para sa ating liga.
And well, the playoffs bracket is complete. Wow, this is something to behold, Javi. All the matchups are something to watch out for. And for Ilagan Isabela, they will have less than 48 hours to prepare for the mighty Abra Solid North Weavers.
Well, it's gonna be a tough road for them to travel, no, literally and figuratively. But I'm sure they are up to the task. But it's gonna be even more difficult because I don't think Art de la Cruz will be available for Game 1 on Friday.
A 7-hour drive from Ilagan Isabela to Bangged Abra, 4 p.m. game between the number 4 seed Caloocan going up against the two-time defending champions number 5 Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And in our main game at 6 p.m. Ilagan Isabela, the 8th seed, trying to upset the number 1 seed, the 28-1 Abra Solid North Weavers. And that's gonna do it for our coverage here for the entire play-in tournament on behalf of Javi Palanya and Andrea Indicio and our entire crew. Ako po si Ken Pangilinan. Maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay at pagtangkilik sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.